Dear breeders, my name is Martin Klavsen and I am the breeding manager here at Blue Horse. We are delighted to show you our place and tell a little bit about our cooperation with Elite Stallions. At Blue Horse we serve up to 2,000 mares from home and abroad every season. But Blue Horse is much more than a stallion station. It is also a training and competition stable which plays a major role in international dressage sport by selling many talented dressage horses to riders worldwide. Riders and horses from Blue Horse have won the Danish championships 9 times and have competed in the finals at the Olympics, the World Championships, the European Championship and the World Cup finals. Stallions from Blue Horse have made their marks in finals and shows all over the world, and several offspring shired by a Blue Horse stallion are found in the top 10 of the FEI dressage list. Being an international stallion station means that we are depending on our agents abroad to deliver the orders in time for us to get the semen collected and all paperwork done. Elite Stallions are doing an excellent work to get everything going smooth. Every year we approximately buy 40 foals all around Europe. Those foals are bringing new blood to our stallion station as well as our dressage center and brood mares. Every year we receive 400 mares in our reproduction center for insemination and embryo transfer. Our dedicated team serve our customer from early morning to late night, and they are always ready to help you with breeding advisement. We have been cooperating with Elite Stallion for several years, and we are pleased that they are so dedicated and presenting our stallions so well. We find that Elite Stallions are always doing their best to serve the customers and being helpful about questions such as which stallions to choose and delivery details. Here at Blue Horse we strive to get our stallions accepted in as many stud books as possible. That gives the mare owner a bigger amount of stallions to choose from. In our collection of stallions you will therefore find both young unproved stallions and older more proven stallions that either are on the way to the international dressage scene or whom are already there, such as Blue Horse Faral, Blue Horse Sankt Schufro and Blue Horse Sac. are always looking for new blood to fit in our breeding program. Therefore, we try to be represented by the larger breeding events in Europe. We are looking forward to this breeding season and of course to serve our customer in the UK with our stallions. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call Elite Stallions or Blue Hors. We will for sure do our best to help you.
So thank you very much to Blue Hors for putting that video together for us to give us a little bit of an insight into the wonderful facilities. And thank you very much, Martin, for joining us this evening to talk us through your incredible collection of stallions and your facilities and setup at Blue Hors.
Thank you so much that you want to help us with this webinar and that we can show a little bit in the UK what our stallions are doing and that we are ready for this breeding season.
We are ready for this breeding season. Every year we take a coach trip and the breeders join us and we go and see various stations and shows, and I think Anna will agree that one of the all-time favourite places for any of us to visit is Blue Hors. It's just magnificent and the horses are wonderful. So we're going to start by looking through your incredible collection, and the first one for tonight is Blue Hors Farrell.
Thank you. Yeah, Blue Hors Farrell. He is shired by Fürstenwald DiCaprio Wolkentanz, a Jungle Prince. Farrell is now 11 years old, 12 years old, sorry. He was 2011, and he is bred by Henrik Platte in Germany. We bought him as a 2 years old premium stallion in the Hungarian Society, and he is now licensed in Oldenburg, Holsteiner, Danish Warmblood, Swedish Warmblood, KWPN, and Westphalen. The dam line has contained several licensed stallions, for example, Blue Hors Future Cup and the Young Horse World Champion for 5-year-old horses in 2013, Scarborough, and along with multiple international dressage horses. He has also made the Mare of the Year in Danish Warmblood in 2018, Ravensburgina, and also a lot of licensed sons. Just from last year, from the license in the area, there was a licensed stallion sold for a really lot of money, and also in the Westphalian there was also a licensed stallion sold to a really famous stallion stud for 250,000 euro. He shows really good offsprings with really good type, really good movements, and really beautiful horses. So and now he have been just competing in Le Mans in the international level in small tour and was winning with really good points. He was winning with 77% here in Denmark, the first national show he did in small tour, and yeah, he does a really good job in now in the sport and international shows. So we are looking forward to present him also for this year for your mare owner. I think Farrell is a bit of a prince. He is a charming boy. He always liked to be in front of the camera, and he really likes it. Also what you see now. He really did a huge jump into the dressage world right now for the last 2 years, and did really well, and Nana is so happy to ride him. What you also can see on the Farrell offspring is when you see them coming into the door, you just know it's a Pharrell offspring, because they are looking into your heart, they are looking with their eyes, they just are so charming like himself. And that's also what we see him in. Here he also showed some of the steps for the Grand Prix, and we hope that maybe in some years, maybe next year, we will see if he can compete on the Grand Prix level as well. But he definitely had the talent for it.
Thank you, Martin. And I remember Pharrell when you had him in the stables as a 3-year-old. You're right, he truly is charming and wants to be everybody's friend, doesn't he? He's amazing.
Yeah.
You've mentioned obviously his recent success in Le Mans, and if COVID restrictions ever allow us to go to a show ever again, what are his plans for his sporting career over the next couple of years?
Of course, it is his plan to serve the mare owners during the season here, but that's not mean that he can compete at the competitions. And Nana also had him scheduled to go on a competition on international level, and she's looking really forward every time to present him to this competition. He's just a lovely boy to have in the truck.
It's very interesting, Martin, that you said what a prince he was and how much he loves the camera, because today we actually made a video of one of our lovely 4-year-olds by Pharrell, and I have to say that horse played to the camera like an absolute prince, and in the same way that you describe, he was all over it. He obviously seems to have a very good temperament himself, Pharrell. Would you say that good character is passed to his offspring, or is he sharper than he looks?
No, I think they have a really good temperament. What the mare owners every time say to me, they are really easy to handle, easy to ride, and that's also what he gives to the offspring. So, and that's also what he are himself.
And our one also has a very beautiful, he's a very elegant horse, but he has a very good neck, very good top line, yeah. I would say particularly. Is that, were we lucky, or is that something that Pharrell brings as well, that consistently nice frame?
Yeah, no, that's really what he do for the offspring, and that's what we see in all of them. They have a really, really strong front, and that's also what he gives to his offspring. And that's also what we can see he is giving true when we use Pharrell mare and we use another stallion, and that's go further in the generation. By for Romans 2, Desperados wollten hit Manstein. Forton I bought myself when he was 2 years old by Bernhard Sieverding in Germany. And I was just amazed of him the first time I saw him. It's a bit like falling in love to a girl. It was a bit like the same. So he had a huge place in my heart. All the stallions have that, but he really has some special. He really likes to be also front of the camera. It's not just like, I have to say that for everybody, but this one, he really likes to show himself. That was the same when we have him at the Oldenburg licensing last year. He was a premium stallion and he showed really, really well. In the longs, by the hand, loose, everywhere. I think he's a really good horse, and also for the future for the collected work. And we already see some foals from him and they look really, really nice. We have a mare foal here at our place and she's absolute amazing. So I think this young boy you have to give a look also in the future. He's a really, really nice horse. So plan for Forton this year is to try to go to the championships here, the young championships here in Denmark, and present him there. And then he need to to cover for all your breeder, hopefully. And Fortune just have an amazing temperament and so easy to handle. And here he's like use the view, and here is the mare foal from Fortune.
So I think that stallion is just outstanding, Martin. I'm completely in love with him. And I think he's going to have a lot of English wives.
He always looks like a really uncomplicated horse. You know, everything looks easy to him and he looks like he enjoys it. Would you recommend him for people with mares that are a little bit sharper and tense?
Yeah, I think so. And I also think so that he suits really well for the sex mares. That's also what I bought him that time. I think this breed with good on the Dutch blood also. And what you see in Denmark, we mix a lot with the Dutch and the German blood. So I think that's really, really good.
And is he passing that sort of swing through the body? I have a Dutch mare, very powerful, very hot, very active. What I'm really looking for is suppleness. Do you think he can bring that?
I think so. He's really supple, and also what I see in a young horse is when I see them when they are young and they are loose in the arena. If they take the steps where they're swinging through the body and it's maybe first time, but they are not too stiff in the body, and they show them well and they are supple, then I also think that's what they really are in nature. It's not been written in the horses.
True.
And that's what I see in this one.
You just mentioned about the crossing over between the Dutch and the German bloodlines, and your next stallion is going towards the Dutch bloodline. So the next one we have from your collection is Kingston.
Junior, Chupomatic, Fleming, and Nabur, all good top stallions in a row. Lux Toto Junior was doing well with Edward Gall, winning the Dutch championships, and I think in this young star we have a really, really good horse for the future. That's also what we do by Blue Horse. We not only looking for stallions that suits well in the breed, we also find stallions that suits well for the sport horses, and we definitely see this horse going to the top sport. Nana just loved to ride him, and yeah, he's absolutely amazing, and he's like getting better and better for every day. So that's really, really nice. Last year he actually was joining the championships in Denmark and having a score by 9.3 and a 10 for the trot, and really good over 9 points in all other gates, so that's really, really nice. This stallion have new blood, what we not see so much, so that's a stallion that suits well on a lot of mares, so that's really what we also see in this stallion. Kingston is really lovely, and what I see in him is also that he is a bit long-legged, and what we see in the breed with Lux Toto Junior and the Totalas blood that's coming further in the generation on Lux Toto Junior, I think this one is a stallion with more longer leg that you used to see with the Totalas blood lines. So I think he's really stallion for the future. The foals we have seen, they are really, really good. They are even more elegant than in him. It's not that he is heavy, but he's a bit compact, but they are really, really elegant foals. So
So, Martin, I'm having a lot of trouble here because my head rider, who's worked for me for 10 years, is jumping up and down in the corner shouting, I love him, I love him. So, I have to ask you, you're the stud manager, you've just said he is great on all the mares, but I have a lot of mares. I need to know which you would recommend the most for this particular young stallion. I understand he's had one crop of foals already. So, which one shall I choose for her? One, fat one, tall one?
Yeah, I know. I said for a lot of mares, for all the mares, but this stallion have some new bloodlines, and that's mean I think that he is really good on a lot of mares, but of course he's a bit compact. So I think what we see until now, he needs a little bit more elegant, not elegant, but a little bit longer mares, and he really do the front of the offsprings, and he really do them with longer legs, but a bit compact. So you need a mare that's a bit longer, and
the
then
back.
he shoots really well.
You mean it longer in the back or just longer rectangular
in the
model?
back, in the back,
In the back.
in the
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Fabulous.
And another one from Dutch Blood, who also for me is compact in the frame, is your next stallion, which is Monte Carlo.
Yeah, Blue Horse Monte Carlo by Dream Boy United Jess Vincent. Yeah, Monte Carlo, I was talking with my partner Joop van Noydert, and he said he had an absolute amazing stallion. He was the premium stallion in the Netherlands and in KWPN, and he called me. I just had it on the saddle. Come and look at Martin. I think it's amazing stallion. I went there with my rider Nana Scott Bormeel, and she rode him, and he was absolute amazing. Like you see him here, really functional through the body, and that's also what he present for the test in Holland, in the Netherlands. He was number 2 with 88.5, and he had a really good points. We already saw some foals, and they are looking really good. Yeah, but this horse, I think he's absolutely amazing. I love him a lot, I can say so, and he was also the premium stallion in the Danish Warm Blood last year. Now he went back to Denmark and is ready to breed this year also at our stud Blue Horse. The plan for him is now to go to the Danish Championships here in Denmark, and then we will see what the result will be. Here you see our young stallions outside, the next group to go in, prepare for the stallion shows.
Thank you, Martin. I remember seeing Monte Carlo at the KWPN licensing, and I always, put a big smiley face on the ones I like, and I went back and had a look at the catalogue, and he had a great big smiley face and the words really super supple. And what's interesting is he seems to have carried that suppleness through under the saddle, when the video of him riding there, he's still got that incredible suppleness.
Yeah.
He's also short-framed, and we found the Dream Boy offspring to be short-coupled. Is he another stallion that you think needs a longer-lined mare?
Yeah, I think he needs a longer line mare, that's for sure. But it's also by Dream Boy, we see what you say, they are a bit shorter and everything. But what I like is that United is in the next generation. And United was not that short that the Dream Boys, and a bit more longer late and more frame and everything. So I think he have a really good generation behind him that can go to the offsprings, and what we also see came true.
His first crop of foals are due now, I presume. Have you seen any
Yeah.
yet, or are you still waiting?
I already have seen 3 foals from him, and what I'm really happy to say is that they are really long-legged. That was a thing I was thinking a bit about. Okay, he's not a small stallion, but he is a bit compact and yeah, not the most longest leg stallion like Sack or whatever we see. But this stallion, he seems to switch what his generation is doing, because there's longer mares in the generation behind. So what we see is, I think they will come through for the offsprings, and they look really nice.
Fantastic.
I must say.
That's good. We have a breeder very excitedly waiting her Monte Carlo foal, and so we'll be sure to share some pictures of that one when it's born. Another stallion is a new young stallion for you this year, and that's Nixon.
Yeah, Blue Horse Nixon by Totilas Jazz Rubinstein Belisar. Nixon we just bought for some months ago. We were seeing him for the pre-selection for the KWPN licensing, and he shows, I think, a modern model from Totilas, and now we don't have Totilas here anymore. We only have the Frozen Seaman, and then I'm really happy to have this stallion here on this video. I must say, and it's not just to say it, he only have been ridden 7 times, so I think he do a really good job here. I think he is a really good Totilas with good active hind legs, a super canter, a super walk, and a super rideability and super temperament, and that's also what you can see here. Nixon is going to be showed tomorrow, actually, here at ourselves. We have the licensing for the Danish Warmblood, and I'm looking really forward to present him there. We bought him from Chef Jansen, the man from Anki van Grunsvent, and Anki also wrote the mother of this one in the small tour, so there's really good competition horses through this breeding. And also a Don Schufro mare from the grandmom was going on the Grand Prix international level. This is our outdoor arena, and here's the offspring from Zach Romanov.
So Nixon is obviously one of your young stallions, and we would normally have travelled across and had a look at him both at licensing and at your place by now, and it's really sad for us because with the COVID we can't get anywhere or see anything, so it's a shame not to be able to see him in the flesh at your stables. I know you and I have talked about this stallion in particular because your stallions for me always have a real incredible type, and no compromises are made, and you and I have discussed this one. Perhaps he's not quite the type that you normally would select for your collection. Tell us a little bit more about why you've chosen him.
I think it's really interesting with the Totilas blood. It's not to say, but it's sometimes a bit difficult to breed with Totilas, and we also have seen that in many offsprings. But what we see in the older offsprings from Totilas, they really show themselves when they get a bit older. And that's actually also what he did himself. So I see Nixon a little bit like Totilas himself. I think he will grow up in some years and be an amazing stallion also for the top sport. So that's why we actually bought him, and we bought him in the co-ownership with Joop van Noydert.
And is he standing with you in Denmark this year, or with Joop van Noydert in the Netherlands?
He will be standing this year by Blue Horse.
Excellent. Okay. And
his semen quality is really good.
Okay, good. Always very important. Yeah.
Exactly.
We've asked you about the type of this one, and the type of the next one really is something to behold. If you wanted a picture on the wall, then this is the stallion, I think. And that's My Blue Horse Santiano.
Yeah, My Blue Horse Santiano by Sezuan Romanaut und Schufro, Luxembourg. Sezuan we bought as a foal, and now he's 4 years old. He was at the test in the Netherlands, where he became 3 with 88 points. Santiano has an amazing dam line. The mother of Santiano is also the mother of Glocks Sonic, that have been shown really well for the international sport with Edward Gall. Santiano is just a beauty, as Lorna said. And now what you also see here, you have a really good active movements. And that's also what we see in the Sonic's offspring. This horse will be, I think, a good horse for the future and have an amazing dam line, what also would suit well for many mares. Santiano is always easy to handle, and also what I remember from him was when he was young and a foal, when he was out in the group, he was standing like a king through all the other ones. So that's also what I still see in him. Yeah, he is a really nice and easy and super temperament. And also what I see in this one is with the Sezuan blood, a long and a more framed horse and stallion.
So this is, as has been said by everybody, just an outstandingly beautiful stallion. I have a question for one of our breeders, Martin, who is asking whether you think he would be suitable for a smaller mare. She is 15-1, which is about 154 centimetres, and the breeder says that she would like the offspring to have a little more knee action. Do you think he is suitable for that mare, or would you recommend a different one of your stallions?
No, I think especially with Santiano, we have the Sezuan blood, we have all the long-legged stallions in Sac, so we find that from him, and that come through Santiano also. What we also see, I know the dam line really good on Santiano because it's a Danish dam line, and we see Glocksonic, we've seen a lot of offspring from the same mother, and they all was not a small horses. They have all doing well at the World Championships and also now for the international sport. So, and I also think they have the movement for the further sport and collecting. So I think especially that will be good for this mare.
I don't think any of us would complain about Zonic's knee action, would we, as riders? And how have you found this stallion to train? Because of course he's under saddle now, and how is his own trainability?
He's really good. Why we didn't have him in the program before now, he's 4 years old, it's his first breeding season this year, is because here at Blue Horse we don't push our horses. If they are ready, they are ready. But if they need another year, we will wait another year. So it's not like we just need to present our horses and do the licensing. So he must have 1 year more, and then he was actually a super horse, I think. And I actually also know that Sonic was also a year later for the licensing. So I think that suits a little bit to the dam line, but it will come for sure.
And you've said he's standing with Joop van Uyten at the stables in the Netherlands this year. And just, to update the breeders, there's been a few issues with the NVWA, which is the DEFRA equivalent in Holland, about the new GB model health certificate and some issues there. And we heard on Friday that the new model certificate had been now put on the e-certificate system in Holland. So we're hoping that from next week we will be able to ship semen from Holland. So we'll run a few trial packages from Joop stables, from the Van Eyter stables, just to make sure that everything is working, and then we're ready to go. So that's good news and a little update for the breeders. The next stallion that we're looking at is one of your older Grand Prix horses now, one that I've watched since 4 years old. So we're excited to see him now at the higher levels of sport, and that's Saint Choufro.
Yeah, Blue Horse Saint Choufro, Saint Maurice Junior Don Choufro, Ataturk Marmori. Saint Choufro, he is a shooting star, I must say. We bought him as 2 years old in the Hungarian licensing, and now he's from 2011, so he is 10 years old. And I think he is a horse with super rideability. He have a really talent for the collecting things, for the piaffe and passage, have expressive movements, and he just was in the international show in Le Mans. He had a few mistakes, but after a year break he had last year, he's now really back to go. You see this suppleness in the horse. He have almost, when he was young, had his leg overall. Now he's more in a frame that we can show really good. I think it's a horse that we also will see in the top level of the FEI. Nana, when you talk with the rider of him, Nana Scorpioneer, he is so happy. When I talk about Saint Choufro, it's like my man. We shoot so well, and yeah, he just want to do the job. And this horse has a really on and off button. It's just like when you have him in the stables, he's like, oh, is he sick? No, he's just relaxing. And when you then put him into the arena, he's just turned off. So that turned on. So that's really nice to have a stallion like that. And that's also what we see in the offsprings. They really have a good temperament and a super carriage and a super functionality. Saint Choufro have many offsprings now sold on auction for a lot of money. Actually, there was a licensed stallion sold for 400,000 euro.
So Saint Choufro, I saw him, as a 4-year-old, and then I followed him for a few years, and then I didn't see him for a couple of years, and then I saw him in Vector at the Stallion show, at the Stallion licensing, and was, oh my God, he just developed so much. He looks so amazing. What should breeders wanting to use Saint Choufro, what should they consider if they're looking at this horse?
I think they need a mare with a bit longer leg. It's not that he make them small, but he need mares that have a bit more heightness. Then he shoots really well. Maybe also a little bit stronger neck, so you have the right frame in the front, and then you have a super riding horse. I'm for sure.
Well, he's certainly that show in Le Mans. I've been there several times and ridden there a lot. And it's quite a spooky arena, actually, isn't it? It's kind of 2 indoor schools together, and there's a lot of shops around and that sort of thing. So his focus was very good for, I watched him live there on Clip My Horse. And I mean, as well as being spectacular, I was impressed by how he handled that particular environment. I've been run away there a few times on a few horses.
But what I also see from Factor, what you was just saying, Lorna, when he did the walk in Factor in this small arena with such many people, he did the walk with long reins, and people were screaming and clapping and everything, and he was just walking. He just, oh, that's really nice this year.
And to a rider, that walk is absolute gold dust, isn't it? Because it's 3 points. You know,
Exactly.
if the horse has that good walk, you can relax. Otherwise, it seems a very long 60 meters. Does he pass on that good walk, that relaxation? Could you use him on a mare who is a bit limited in the walk?
Yeah, I would say so. And also what we need when we do the walk is the temperament. I think the temperament is a huge role for that. Because if you have a really spooky mare and she's a bit stiff and that's a bit afraid of this and stuff like that, I think that suits really well. So he has the same rhythm every time. So I think definitely he would shoot for a mare like that.
And of course, as riders, we really want the breeders to breed us good walks because we can't change that.
No.
Well, I can't.
Exactly.
Okay, so talking of good walks, here's one of your young stallions, which looks like he also has that trait, and that is Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum by Cesar and Sandro Hit Lanciano Sherlock Holmes. This horse we also just bought for, I think 2 months ago by a known breeder in the German called Wilhelm Klavsen. And he sent this video from the launching to me and said, I just got this horse. Is it something you want to look at? And I went down there and I looked at this horse and I was just, it is amazing horse. Just what Lorna also said, the walk, I think it's really something special. And that's also what we need in the international breed now. I think the walk is one of the most important things we have. And this good activities and the movements, I think that's really, really is special by this horse. This stallion we're also gonna show tomorrow by the Danish licensing, and I'm really, really happy to show this horse. His mother also did small tour level here in Denmark, so the dam line have something to say for the breeding of this young stallion. The canter is big, and I think that's also what's really, really special. He's now licensed in the Oldenburg, and he's 3 years old, and now his plan is hopefully to cover a lot of mares. But I really like in this horse that you see something from Sandro Hit. They have a really strong confirmation, and I also hope that he will bring that to the mare line, and that's also what I think he will bring to the mares.
So Spectrum, to me, is another one that we haven't actually seen because we can't travel anywhere. But he looks like he's really light on his feet. Really, really light on the ground. And can you tell us a bit more about his attitude, his character in the stable? What he's like for the rider, what feel he gives?
Yeah. He hasn't been ridden that much. He's only 3 years old, and he was just braked in when we got him here, and we bring him to the new arena when he come home, I think for 1.5 months ago. And I said to Christian, the rider, just sit up. I think he's really sweet. And he sat up, and 1 round in the longe and then loose. And then he was like, oh, I've been here all the time. So I think saying that says a lot for his temperament, and that's also what I hear from the girls when they are handling him. He's such a nice boy, and of course he's a young boy and a stallion, but that doesn't mean that he's really, really easy to handle.
And I Are you talking about the horse there, Martin, or Christian? The rider and the horse?
No, I'm talking about the horse.
Brilliant. Okay, and so another young one from you we're going to look at now is Valenzo.
Yeah, Blue Horse Valenzo by our own Blue Horse Veneziano, De Macho, Sandro Hit, Feiner Stern. Yeah, Valenzo, he is something special also. I say all of them is something special, but this horse we bought as a foal, and then last year we were thinking, should we present him or should we not? I said, no, give him a year more, and we give him a year on the grass field, and then we took him in the summertime again and start to ride him. He just shows some amazing steps under the saddle, like also what you see here, and just so easy to ride and easy to present. Valenzo had a really strong mare line. The mother of him have been good licensed in the Oldenburg licensing, and she's one of her own. I've seen the mother of Valenzo, and she's a big framed mare, what you also see in Valenzo, and that's also what we need now on our Dutch blood. So I think he can shoot really good on the Dutch blood, that give more long in the back and more frame and a lot of power for the movements. What we also see in this horse, in this stallion, he had a really good walk, and that's really important for our breed now. It's something really special.
So Martin, I know this stallion is warm blood fragile foal positive, and you know, a few years ago you took away some of the stallions from the roster which were positive. What made you decide to proceed with the stallion and include him in the collection? What made him really stand out from the crowd for you to have him?
I think I was agree on what you are saying, that we was taking a lot of stallion out of our collection, and I was also saying to myself, we don't need any with WFFS again in our collection, but this horse was something special for me, and it was, yeah, I just need to see what he can give for the breeding. I think what he have the talent for, a lot of expression in the movements, a huge canter, a super walk, super temperament, super rideability, what he also got from his father Veneziano, and that's why I also want to use him for the breeding.
Yeah, his father truly was the ultimate rideability. I remember, you know, at a very young age, he could do everything for the Grand Prix, and certainly he looks like he has wonderful expression. So I can see why why you've kept him and included him, and he'll be an interesting, a really interesting one to follow.
To me, this stallion, Martin, is he's a Ferrari when some of the others are a Rolls Royce. I think he's such an exciting and very modern looking horse. He's to me, he looks a little different to some of the others, just in type. And what sort of a mare do you think is his best match?
I think he can use on a shorter mares. A little bit what we see in the Netherlands. We see many short horses. We also see them in German, but I think this one can make a better frame, a longer back, and I think he can do a lot of that. What I see in the breeding right now, we need. So that's also what I said. Okay, this stallion absolutely must go to my collection this year.
Excellent. And the next stallion that we've got is one that was available last year and again this year, so his second season, and that's Blue Hors Visconti.
Yeah, Blue Hors Visconti by Vivaldi, Sandorit, Brentano 2, Gotland. Yeah, his Merlai is saying is speaking for his own. His mother is full sister to Poetin, who was sold for 2.5 million euro, and is now cloned by the stud Jas de Hus in France. Visconti was number 3 as his performance test in Germany and got 8.4 for the total. He gave 9.5 for the rideability, and that's also what I see in him. He's really rideable and have a super front leg, so it's a really good horse for the horses who need more shoulder and in the movements. Visconti is now licensed in many stud books in Westfalen, Oldenburg, Panorama, Danish Warmblood, and I think he can give something for the type and the elegant. Visconti has already the first foals we have seen in Germany, and they have a super type and a super frame, so I'm really looking forward to see more foals from this guy. He will stay for this season also by Hingstalton Martin Determann, and that's also where you can get the semen from, so that will not be a problem. But I think Christian will miss this horse in his list next month when he is in Germany. I think you can see that on his smile.
So Visconti comes from a gold-plated pedigree, doesn't he? With Vivaldi and then Poetin, as on the dam side. How has he developed over the last 12 months under saddle? What's his highlights?
I think his highlights is totally his rideability and his front legs. He has a really good shoulder freedom, and the canter. I think that's an amazing canter what you see here. So yeah, a really elegant stallion.
Really, and as you said, he's standing at Martin Dettermann's this year, which is obviously in Germany and so we can ship the Visconti semen with no problems at all. The next stallion is a beauty, a true beauty, and that's Zachary.
Yeah, Blue Horse Zachary by Zach, Sandorit, Solus Grex, Paganini. This horse, I think no one have seen him what they see now. We saw him when he was a young stallion, 2 years old, in the Oldenburg licensing. I think he was the favorite by the public, and I was showing him actually myself as a young stallion down there, and that was absolutely just really something that I never forget, that I showed this one. Zachary now is ridden by Severo and shows really good and really talented for the huge sport. He really did a huge step into the international scenes. He is really easy for the collected stuff, what you also can see here. And his offspring, there's now licensed 3 stallions, and for the first group, and one premium stallion was sold for 270 euro in Germany, and is now sold to the Netherlands. But this stallion is something special, and he always have been. His father, I don't need to say anything about him. I don't think so. I will come to him. But the mother line is really good. It's the same dam line as Göttingårds Stubbe, who was huge on the ranking list for FEI sport horses, and also the same dam line as Fiorentini, who also won 3 times the World Championships for young horses. Zachary, we have a lot of offspring from him now, and we have the first one under the saddle, and they do really, really well. They have a huge power in the movements. So do you have a mare who is a bit slowly and needs more power, then you especially can use Zachary. He's really long leg stallion, but you also can see he has really long legs, and he's really elegant, and that's also what we see in the offspring from him. This season he will also be standing by Martin Determann, and as Lorna said, it will be no problem to send the semen to you. And one comment I just must to say, that was when I bring the horse to Seville, he was saying, "Oh Martin, this horse, that is something special."
So I think you matched a very special horse with a very special rider. And certainly in England, it got a very special reaction, that training video. It was something else. And what I really enjoy about watching Blue Horse and the story there is the way you really build these horses up, and then you know when to push the button, to when it's their moment, if you like. And they seem to have all that time, which is, as a rider and a producer of horses, is just great to see. But I really feel that I know this stallion has been around for a while, being, developing, but that was his moment. I mean, he was a Facebook favorite over here on that training video. Yeah. So that's obvious. The talent is just obvious. But which mares? Well, who does he really suit?
He really shoots, I think, from the F blood. I've seen some Zacharies on Farrell and Fürstenball, also the D blood and stuff like that. That he shoots really, really well. The horses that need a bit more power in the movements, more hind legs, he especially will give to the mare. And of course the elegance.
Yeah. Well, that's very exciting to hear, because I have both F and D blood mares in the stables, one of which is a current Grand Prix ride, so I think I'll be poking Lorna a little bit, make sure I...
You just say when we need to ship the semen, then we do it.
Thank you, Martin. that is fabulous, but that is I think a real match of horse and rider that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy watching that journey develop.
Yeah, it's an exciting story to watch going forwards. And we have now another one of your Zach stallions, which is Zaccarado.
Yeah, Blue Horse Zaccarado by Zach Florencio Donoghue Rubinstein 1. Zaccarado we also bought as a foal. He was really something special. He's a black beauty, and his dam line is also something from himself. He's out of the same dam line as Dressage Royale. Dressage Royale is the father of Dempsey and have produced a lot of good sport horses. And that's also what we see in this boy. He really have a supple movement, what we not so often see from the Blue Horse sex offsprings. But he really has the swing through the body, and that was also given by really good points at the championate here in Denmark last year. He won the semi-final last year here in Denmark, and then because of COVID there was no finals, so we couldn't present him for the finals. But he had a point total by 9.5. This horse, we saw some of the first foals last year, and they were something special. I know Christian really well, and that was rider who's riding a lot of our young horses. And if I ask him right now which one is your favorite, if you need to decide from one of the stallions, then especially will say Sagrado. He always could give a really good feeling when I'm riding him. So that's also what we see in him. Sagrado was also will also go for the championate this year for sure, and let's see what they're gonna do this year.
So Zaccarado looks like he's a more compact frame, but he looks like he has super power. Do obviously I think, has he had a first crop of foals yet, or are you awaiting them? What do you think he'll, pass on to the offspring?
The first foal season was in Germany, and there we saw the first foals, and they're really elegant foals. They I will say it's a bit like a full bred stallion. He really do them elegant, the offsprings. A bit if you have a heavy mare, I think he shoots really well on this kind of mares.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And the first of foals was sold over 20,000 euro by the auctions, and have a really good active and power, what you say, and that's also what we see in him.
Fantastic. We've got Beth Bainbridge here, who's, as Anna said, her head rider, just shouting, "I want one of these! I want one of these!" So far, she wants one of everything. So
yeah. We watched, Martin. Last weekend we watched your stallion show twice, Beth and I, because we're horse people. So we ride horses all day, and then we go home and we watch Clip My Horse. I mean, what else is there to do in the evening? And we actually had to watch your show twice because we were so excited. And I think it's fair to say Beth was so excited the first time round that she couldn't really focus. And we had to watch it again in German. So we're very happy to see it again tonight with your English commentary.
Super.
The Blue Horse stables, whenever you think of it, you think of these incredible stallions like, Don Schufro. And now Zach really is one of those stallions that is becoming so famous for not only his own sporting achievements, but all these incredible offspring. The last two stallions they're amazing, but a small sample of the sports horses and the stallions that he's producing. So we're excited to show Zach tonight and get Martin's comments.
Yeah, Blue Horse Zach by Rousseau, Jess, Belisar, Wisconsin. Blue Horse Zach is now getting a bit older, and I actually was talking with some of my colleagues, and I said, Zach is like a good wine. It's getting better with the time, and that's also what he do. Zach now have produced a lot of good offsprings, and they really do it well under the saddle, and what we also see now in the international sport, like Blue Horse Scepter, Blue Horse Glocks Sonic, Blue Horse Satsmo, and a lot more. He have, I think, now 40 licensed stallions and have many mares of a year here in Denmark, and now he is really on the way with Nana Scott Bormeo. I just think you have to love what you see here by Zach in our outdoor arena, and he's so easy. And one thing you need to know about Zach is that he is blind on the right eye, on the left eye, sorry. And what you also can see by Zach is that he is so comfortable with everything. Also, when you have him the warm up, he don't look at the other horses. He don't is afraid that he haven't seen. He just trusts his people and his rider, and that's also, I think, he do a lot of this for the offsprings. A lot of people was saying to me, Zach, he will never get a Grand Prix horses, but the last 4 years really show that he is a really horse for the top level. Just right now, he had the result by Nana Squadron by winning here in Le Mans, and also with another rider that rode him before, Daniel Bachmann Andersen. He was like doing really well. He has a lot of scores, over 80% in the Grand Prix, and was in the final number 5, and was winning a lot of World Cup qualification and also winning the Danish championships. Last year we lost our grand old man Don Schufro, and now Zach have taken his position, I must say, both in the breeding and also in the sport.
So as we said before, Martin, Zach has so many licensed sons now, so many incredible sports horses. What is it you think that gives him that X factor? What makes him such a successful stallion?
I think he came on the right time. That's one of the things. He really shoots well in the breeding, what we had at that moment and with the bloodline. And then he's if you see him in his confirmation, he is so correct in everything. The leg, everything is long-legged. He is really functional and stuff like that. So I think that's what makes him one really good stallion for the breeding.
And what will be his availability this season with the Chilled Seaman? Will he be continuing through the sport, if obviously we can? Will he be available all season or just for a period?
What we see now is that he's doing the sport, and he will be available on Child Seaman this season. But let us see how the Corona is saying. I won't say that we don't do any competition and everything, but we will try to mix the sport and his season this year. That's for sure.
And when you ever come up the Blue Horse Drive, you come up and there's the incredible, immaculate matching trees, and you come to the big bronze statue of Don Schufro. Are there plans to have a big bronze statue of Zach?
I think we have to have one next to him
so
they can look at each other. That's for sure.
I'm quite distressed actually, Martin, because I know that translation is a thing, but we've just watched the video of one of the most incredible stallions in the world, and you have described him as functional.
Exactly.
It's not enough, in my opinion.
No, I think he's really good on many mares, and he is just amazing stallion. He is in the top 10 FEI list, and it's just amazing. He put the shoe on from Don Schufro, and then we go again. So we will see who takes the next shoes.
I want to ask you, your stallions. It's like a really expensive luxury car. Everything is perfect. The type, the movement. You rarely make any compromises on the quality of the stallions that you have and how you train them and manage them. What is it that you look for when you're selecting those young colts as future stallions to be part of the Blue Horse collection? What is it that you specifically look for?
First of all, what I'm telling myself is, do I like this foal or colt or is there something? It's a bit like what I also say before. Do I fall in love? It's a bit like the same, and then afterward, okay, we see on the movements, we look in the dam line, is a good dam line behind, and what do we need for the new breeding? What kind of blood do we need, and such on. So that's first of all. But it's a bit like when you buy as weather. You also first, okay, this is looking really good. It's really nice. It's a bit like the same actually with the foals. I would say so.
I have a question from one of our breeders, Martin, which is, does Zach, is he sharp? And if so, does he pass that on? So maybe if the mare's a bit hot, is he a good match, or does he give that sharpness as well?
A lot of breeders have asked about that, and I must say I can let my nephew go with Zach. He is 10 years old, and he can go through the whole yard of Blue Horse with him. He is really one of the its kinds. He's really easy and easy to handle, and yeah, of course he's fresh and he's happy and he wants still to do stuff. He actually, if he have 2 days off and Nana go to a riding arena, he still can bark and everything. But that's I like. It's like he's really happy, and he is like he is love his life here. So that's just a thing that we can see on.
I must say we have had many Zach offspring for backing and for schooling, and actually I can say to our British breeders that we would recommend him for temperament. They seem to be extremely well behaved and straightforward horses. So
I think they really enjoy the job, don't they? They enjoy the work. They really want to please the rider. That's is they enjoy what they do, which
the ones we've had haven't had from the beginning the really huge trots. They've had good trots, good functionality, I guess, but the trots have developed later to become more expressive. Is that something we expect from Zach, or is that just the experience that we have had with the fewer mares?
We had a lot of offsprings from him, and actually we keep them a bit longer because we break them in, and then they get the summer on the grass field, and then we take them in again when they are 3.5, and then we start riding them. And actually, when they are in the beginning, a little later in the year when they are 4 years old, we see the talent in the horses. So that's really something that I can see from the sex offspring. Yeah, definitely.
Ah, interesting, because I personally like horses like that. You know that are mechanically very good, but then when you push the button, then
develop.
You know, because these horses, in my opinion, can stay sound for a very long time, as he has done, because you can use or not use it. And so I think that's, for me, as well as all the things that make him obviously a fantastic stallion, for me that's a very preferable mechanic as somebody who wants to keep horses sound long term.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. I know you've got a...
Oh, yes, I have a personal question to ask you since we have you here. I hope you'll be pleased to know that the highest placed British bred 4-year-old this year, we actually bred, and she was the highest placed British bred 4-year-old in the National Dressage Championships. She was actually by one of your stallions called First Choice. And I wondered which stallions you felt were crossing well back to him, if that's how you put it. I'm a rider, not a breeder. How do you say that properly?
So she's First Choice Sandro Hit, and Anna would like to take some embryos from her because she's showing herself to be really good in the sport and has been successful so far. So have you got any First Choice mares? What would you recommend that I'm allowing Anna to use on this mare?
I know when we have first choice offsprings, I think that they have the power from the nature. So I think you need a horse that have a bit more swing, maybe through the body. And also when I see when you have Sandrid in the second generation, I think that's could be really fit well. So I think stallions like I would say Pharrell or Fortran would shoot really well on such a mare. Also Santiano, I think, could be really interesting.
Excellent, well done, Martin, because that's what I had on my list. Thank God.
Thank you.
Martin, you said that the stallion enjoys his life at Blue Hors, and the Blue Hors is one of the most fantastic places. So I also would enjoy my life if I lived at Blue Hors. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's really kind. We've run over, so we're going to say good night and thank you very much. And we very much hope to bring the breeders to you in real life as soon as we can, and they can see firsthand all the stallions and the facilities. But thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much that I could join this show. I'm really pleased.
Much appreciated.
Fantastic. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.